Hugh, you with us?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, what up, what up? What's up, everybody? This your boy J. Lou and Hugh. And we back for another episode, man, of Beyond the Bleachers. This is December the 12th, 2016, man. The end of the year is approaching very fast. It seemed like, man, we just brought the new year in, bro.
Yeah. A lot of controversial around the world right now, definitely in football. The complexity of the playoff race has changed. And not only that, but, man, it's still to come, man. You know, it's like everything is being fomented right now, but we still got a game tonight as well, you know, so that'll definitely determine a lot more. So a lot of these games where they're putting, like, competitive teams and they're wanting to have, like, some of the division games at the end of the year, it's really been shaking up the season, man. Definitely that, you know, Thursday night game, which was the best Thursday night game we saw so far, man. But I think those conditions kind of frighten those guys, man. But, yeah, it's been a pretty interesting, you know, time of year, definitely right now, ship-shaping and getting these playoffs together.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about today, man. We gonna start the show out with some with NFL, because that's the that's the hottest thing right now, man. So we're not really going to go into any particular order with the NFL because there's so much stuff going around. So I mean, we're talking about head coaches getting fired. We're talking about, like you just mentioned, man, playoff races. We're gonna be talking about some of the good games we saw yesterday, man. It was some awesome football on yesterday. We got a few, we got a few questions to ask about certain players in the NFL, stuff like that. You know, compare which player would you take, stuff like that. Then we're going to talk a little bit of NBA, and then we're going to talk a little NCAA football to end the show. But I'm pretty sure NFL going to take most of it, most of the show, because that's the hot sport going on right now.
Oh yeah.
So how your week been here? Everything been all right, man? We got some snow. Yeah. We got some snow, man.
Man, didn't expect that snow, man. It was a really shocker, man. Huge shocker, bro. Cool, though. It was like this the time of the season. Most times we complain when, you know, Christmas fast and we like, oh, man, we ain't getting the snow. We got the snow. Got a little earlier than expected. So I'm just embracing the moment right now.
Yeah, I know, man, because usually for the past couple of years, you know, here in Michigan, I know we got listeners from across, you know, the country, but I know here in Michigan, for the past 2 or 3 years or so, we'll get snow like way before Christmas, and then by the time Christmas comes, like no snow at all, like the roads are clear and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a while since we got snow like this, and then more snow to come during for Christmas time, man. Because I mean, to me, that's what it's all about. I know I stayed in Arizona for a year, and I visited a couple Christmases before that, and it was nice during Christmas time. It was like 80 degrees, you know. So having, you know, that festive time, you know, what I grew up with, you know, every time December 25th came, you know what I'm saying, it was snow on the ground, you know. So it's definitely been, you know, the thrill ride here in Michigan as far as weather wise. But yeah, man, I want to get into to sports, but I have a question.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this for a minute, and I want to get your thoughts on it, Hugh.
Okay.
You know, we're football people. We're football guys. You know.
Yes, sir.
And with everything that's going on, as far as with football, you know, safety protocols, that type of stuff. But now I don't. I have a daughter.
Yeah.
And thank God she can't, play football. But if I had a son, I don't know if I'm sure I would let him play football.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you had a son, Hugh, would you allow him to play football? Do you think it's safe enough for him to play right now, or would you want him to pursue another sport?
I would definitely like for him to pursue another sport as a father figure, because I look at it and I believe right now that, football is getting really nasty. And when you see things like Roger Goodell right now, the things that he's trying to do and the money he's trying to invest into protecting the players, is still got, a lot of stuff that's in there that, or you'll see, they'll say, don't do this, don't do that, and people are still doing it. We've seen a vicious hit in that Eagles and Redskins game when, people are like, well, Darren Sproles didn't call fair catch. And he got lit up when he was looking for the ball, not really paying attention at who was coming towards him. And, he's a little guy. That guy's like 5'6", 5'7", and he got lit up, man. And the hit was like a car crash. And I was like, man, that's kind of scary. It's already scary enough for a bigger dude who's like 6 feet or up. But, this guy's like 5'7". He got trampled because of the guys coming at you at full speed. That was a really scary hit. And the Henry Douglas incident, that was dirty as hell, Jay. For anybody who saw that game, I feel like Denver, man, did a lot of dirty things during the season, definitely with the Cam Newton game, the first game of the year. I said, man, there's a lot of calls that they're just not hearing or seeing. I don't know if they're blind or whatnot, but it happens a lot of games. They let a lot of unnecessary stuff go on, and they're not calling. But that hit on Chris Harris Jr.'s knee took him out, man, and then they didn't call the flag or anything, because you know what? They said it's legal. So what the hell you got to do to make things illegal around here? If you do a quarterback, you definitely going to get a call for doing that to a quarterback. But I'm not so sure nowadays, because my man's lost the rest of his season from a hit like that. Ryan Tannehill yesterday on the game, and surprisingly they won against Arizona. But yeah, he got one of those low hits like that too. And they basically said that he had like a sprained MCL, ACL, and he out for the season. That didn't get called. So it's like they're not calling enough things going on right now in football. Maybe they'll make it a little bit more protective sport, but it's not looking like that right now. As a parent, I wouldn't want my child playing or nothing like that, man, when you're just basically, setting up and you're getting ready and prepared for a run game, or running back to come in or come at you so you can tackle him, and a guy look you in the eye like Harry Douglas did, and then go low on you. I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't want my son to play in the sport, man. And it's a barbaric sport, and I think as men, we love it. Definitely the ones who play it. But I don't think that it'll be nothing that I would want my son to go into. I'd rather him go into like basketball or baseball, who makes a hell of a lot more money as well. They're not suffering the same injuries as the NFL, and they're making a lot more to not be in the danger zone. So that's the direction I would go in.
Yeah. Well, who's going to be watching on Facebook Live? I'm going live for a minute. I just want to let y'all know Hugh and I was Beyond the Bleacherz show. I'm pretty sure that you guys saw our advertisements and stuff on Facebook. But bad. Yeah, my connection is bad. But yeah, Hugh, I'm gonna try to get back on Facebook Live and. But that's a good point, man. And people fail to realize how violent football is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those sports where it's almost like I want to say you could compare it you can almost compare it, I should say, to the Wild Wild West, where Hugh, you there?
Yes, sir.
My bad, man. I got my call dropped. What's wrong with my goddamn phone?
Oh, no problem, man. No problem.
But yeah, I want to apologize to everybody who's listening. Yeah. If I had a son, I definitely. I know he'd be pissed at me probably, but it would really take a lot of convincing for me to allow him to play because, like I said, people have to realize that football is a violent sport. It's like violent, like I said before I got disconnected, it's almost like Wild Wild West type, it's hit or be hit. And I think when they're out there on that field, man, they're in survival mode. They're doing what they're supposed to do as far as strategy and that type of stuff, assignments and all that. But at the end of the day, they have to protect themselves, and then they have to inflict punishment on the other team. You know what I'm saying? We talking tackling, hits, stuff like that, or juking out your opponent so they can't tackle you. So we talking about knees getting messed up, ankles, arms, getting put out of socket, stuff like that. So it's a lot of wear and tear on the body. And like you said, man, baseball and basketball pay a hell of a lot more, and those contracts are mostly guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Football, one of the most violent, barbaric sports there is, and they don't get any guaranteed money, but they little signing bonus,
Yeah. So besides that, it's a 2-year guarantee.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I really think that's a good question. So if parents out there listening to the show or whatever, man, I suggest you research as much as you can about football. And, we like it. I mean, you can call us hypocrites, because we do like the sport. I mean, it's a entertaining sport to watch, but it's also violent. So, at the end of the day, we do want the men that play the game to be safe at the end of the day, with that, I just wanted to get that out the way, man, and talk about that right quick. But I want to get into the first topic of the day, which is the Los Angeles Rams. I'm about to say St. Louis. The Los Angeles Rams fired Jeff Fisher this morning. I know 2 weeks ago they gave him an extension. I don't know what that was about because I felt this coming. I really did. I felt it coming because of the stuff he was getting in it with Eric Dickerson. And, Eric Dickerson is like a legend, within the Rams organization, like as far as especially LA Rams. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
When you having quarrels with somebody like that, who usually bring that NFL alumni, to the games and, stuff like that, man, it's that's a dicey ass situation to deal with. And plus he's been underachieving, and then you're in a new city too. So it's a difference, So my question, Hugh, is do you think he deserved to get fired, and why? Hold on. Another question with that. Not only did you see it coming, or did he deserve to get fired, but why did they extend his contract? Do you think they meant to like keep it like that, or it just got too much out of hand where they was just like, man, forget it, let's cut ties?
I think they did that as a sympathy plea, man. You know, didn't really think it was necessary, like you was saying too, because it's like, okay, you get rid of the dude, but first, before you do, you like, oh man, we're gonna give you an extension, and he's tied in the NFL for one of the most losingest coaches there is right now. You know,
right.
And it's like you extend him. And then, like you said, the garbage and all the crazy melee and the stuff that was going on with him and Eric Dickerson, man, it was crazy. But he definitely came out and he voiced his opinion, and it got ugly because he was like, you know, you wasting our time with this guy, Jeff Fisher, man. Y'all need to fire him, man. You know, and he said the same thing. He basically put it in the statistics, man. He said, look at the stats. He said this guy's one of the most losingest coaches there is. And they just lost 8 out of the last 9 games. And you're going to give him an extension. We all looked at that like it was crazy. Like, damn, like, I don't know what Jeff did, man, or who, you know, he messing around with up in there, man, or what type of clout he have. But I thought he had hella clout to be able to have that situation in hand. But, yeah, man, I think that they looked at it like, yeah, you know, after everything went on and how they didn't play, man, I think it really hurt it, too, because not only now, like you said, Eric Dickerson just didn't say something, but now Todd Gurley was like, man, that's a high school playbook we have, man. I'm sick of these high school plays. And he lashed out just recently today. And then that's when, not so long after that, I seen him get fired. Do I think he deserved it? I don't think nobody deserved to lose their job. But at the same time, though, James, man, you know how it is. I don't care if you're doing good. When you're doing good, it's all good. All this crazy stuff that's going on in the NFL, like with dudes not wearing ties and all that unnecessary BS, that will be avoided if you're on the winning end, you know, of the picture. Right. But when you're losing, oh, man, that really comes to play, man. The niggas got bad with him, man, in there, you know, in Los Angeles. And I think that it was a sympathy check they gave him, like, okay, thank you for bringing us back to Los Angeles. And, you know, that transition, maybe I'm wrong. But then, you know, to extend him just really didn't make no sense to me, man. I just thought it was crazy. But, yeah, I don't think he deserved to. And we all know, man, it ain't him out there playing. You know, it's the team, man. If your team's behind you, you're always going to have that opportunity to keep your job, man. Depends on how your record looks. But if you're playing bad and it seems like your team's not behind you, because you know, man, that yesterday's score, when we seen that game, them was sympathy touchdowns, man. Because when I seen that game, I said, damn, man, they gave up on Jeff Fisher. I said, I can't believe this, man. It was like 28-0 at one point. And I said, man, this is ridiculous, man. Where's these guys on offense and defense? And they don't got a shabby defense neither in Los Angeles, man. Just was disappointed with the whole thing and the way it went down. But, yeah, I thought his time was ticking, though. I definitely seen it coming because, you know, if they're going to point fingers at anybody, it's going to be the coach. And then it goes down the line.
Yeah. You hit a major point, Hugh. Teams can have rough seasons. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes injuries happen. Infighting within the team, that kind of stuff happens or whatever. But what shouldn't happen is when teams don't respond anymore to their coach. And that was the question last week on the Monday night game when the Jets played who the Jets play? I forget.
The Jets, they played the Colts.
The Colts, right. The Jets played the Colts last week, and people was thinking like, damn, did they give up on Bowles, or I mean, what was going on? And sometimes teams, like I said, sometimes teams just stink up the place. You know what I'm saying? I was a coach before, and sometimes, you know, the coach over me would go nuts, like, what you doing? You coaching them right or whatever? And I'm like, dude, they just stinking the place up. Like, sometimes it's just nothing you can do. Sometimes they play great where they make no mistakes or very little mistakes, and then sometimes, you know, they shit the bed. You know what I'm saying? But with this situation, it was to the point where I think a change needed to be made, and the team just stopped responding to him. And I heard Jeff Bleacherz is he's kind of an honorary guy, like as far as being, you know, a bit of an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when teams deal with that, sometimes they just can't tolerate it anymore. And then the front office got to look at it like, damn, where we want to take our franchise now? You know, we need a coach in to, you know, whatever. And like I said, I kind of saw it coming, man, because he wasn't getting a job done. And that'll lead me to my next question about him. Do you think he's overrated? And from my eyes, I think he is. Tennessee, he had a lot of up and down seasons. He really doesn't have a good playoff record at all. When he gets to the Rams, he's had mediocre seasons. And just to put his name up there as like a top coach, I remember one time they were kind of comparing him back in the day to Bill Parcells, not Bill Parcells, but Bill Cowher, as far as like coaching style and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the hell y'all looking at? You know what I'm saying? So it's weird, man, how a coach can get a certain reputation and they just don't live up to that reputation. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. He definitely doesn't live up to that.
Yeah. I mean, where you at on it, Hugh? You think he overrated or?
Very overrated because of the fact that when you look at it, man, like you said, he had a couple of good seasons when he was in Tennessee. You know, the year when he took them to the Super Bowl, they possibly could have won that Super Bowl. They lost by a foot, man. You know, I said, you know, I'll praise him because that team was great, man. Then when it seemed like McNair left, man, and, you know, he still had an okay team. And, you know, Ainsworth at the time was playing the best ball of his career. But then when some of those pieces left and went away for the dollar signs, you see how they got exposed and, you know, other systems. But not even going to point to that direction. It's just he had some good years in Tennessee. He had some down years in Tennessee. All the years he had with the Rams was mediocre. They always seemed like they found a way to beat Seattle. They always seemed like they had Seattle's number. But it's like, yeah, you play that way in your division. How come you're not playing that way and with that same intensity outside your division? It seems like, man, those guys just wasn't disciplined, man. I'm not even saying that they wasn't disciplined. They just might not like him, and that's what affected them, and that's what shows, man. And just don't really think that he was as good of a coach as everybody said he was, man. I think he was okay, you know, but do I think he's great? No. And the proof is in the pudding. You can look at his record and see that.
Right.
He had more wins.
Yeah, and sometimes, Hugh, it comes down to just a change. Sometimes teams need change.
Yeah.
And sometimes certain teams aren't for certain coaches to coach. You get what I'm saying? When you build, like some coaches are there to see the development or the rebuilding of a team. You know, just like just say the Detroit Lions. Schwartz was there to kind of get a certain culture, bring a certain culture to the Lions. Then, you know what I'm saying, you bring this dude in, Caldwell, and maybe Caldwell is the one to, you know what I'm saying, get them into a mode of winning. And maybe he may not be the coach that'll take them to the next level, but, you know, I mean, that's somebody that they need at this moment. And I think Jeff Fisher wore his welcome out in Los Angeles. I mean, that's just what it was. Like you said, Hugh, thanks for getting us, you know, back to Los Angeles and all of this. But it's time for a change. It's time for these kids to respond, you know what I'm saying, to somebody else. Maybe they get a younger coach in, you know what I'm saying, and maybe they'll respond more to a younger guy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They may have a different type of offense going, and, you know, he may be a energetic guy, or maybe the team may respond more to a more player coach, something like a Pete Carroll or something. So I do think he's overrated, and I just really think this came down to him wearing his welcome out in Los Angeles, man. That's just what it was about. And I think, to be honest, I think it was a year too late. I think he should have went out last year. You know,
he didn't have a winning season there at all.
Yeah, it's just you know, like you said, Hugh, when the team stops giving a shit about you or not responding to you, it's just time to move on. And then, as a coach, you should be able to understand that. And some coaches do. That's why you get some coaches resigning. Some coaches be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I did all I could do. Like it's nothing else I could do. Y'all get somebody in here who could do what they, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I just try to go somewhere else, you know. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure Fisher will get another job because his name, just his namesake alone, and that lone freaking, what was it, the 99 Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just that, you know, 1 yard away from winning the Super Bowl. It's, you know, I mean, he'll live off. He'll get a job off that alone. So I'm pretty sure he'll get another job soon somewhere. I'm gonna move on right quick. I do want to save that, but I do have something. It's not on my list, but I do have something to talk about.
Okay.
When I bring this name up to you, man, this first thought that goes through your head and why they say he's in the position he's in, hot seat wise. Rex Ryan.
Joke.
Yeah, I knew you were
going to say that. That's the first thing come to mind. He basically is a joke. Okay, right. I'm going to explain it for you. I just feel like, man, some of the games that he played, he took too much to heart. And I understand, I respect what he said when he first came out, but he's always seemed like he has a chip on his shoulder. You know, like when he first came to the AFC, he's like, man, I'm not here to kiss Bleacherz's rings, man. I want what he has, and I'm trying to take that by force, you know. And, you know, you're like, okay, yeah, you basically enjoy him coming in with that energy. He had some good teams to build around that, too. He had a lot of good veteran defensive players. He had some good, solid guys on his offense, and he just basically ran a pretty good organization when he was there. It seems like he just basically forgot his methods and how he got there. He got there from running the ball and running the ball down your throat, then passing the ball when you least expected. A lot of those guys went to other teams. He felt like he can fill the gaps, and the gaps wasn't there to be filled. And when all this stuff happened, he really felt like he overpaid some players. No disrespect to Darrelle Revis, because at the time he was in his prime. So a lot of those guys was basically killing the salary cap. So he got rid of a lot of them. And I think that was his reason why he got out, because it's like you got rid of so many players, but you didn't bring in no key players along with it. So that's when his team started to think. They shipped him out of New York. So it was a grudge match when he went to Buffalo. I said, wow, they can play in the same division. This is pretty interesting. So he had that chip on his shoulder against the Jets for getting rid of him, letting them know y'all made a mistake for doing that. And then he still had his chip on his shoulder from Bill Belichick, you know. And I'm like, well, man, you know, it's just he seemed like he put on more of a show, and I think his mouth got him more trouble than what he deserved to be in, because he couldn't. A lot of times when he opened his mouth, man, he get his players around that hype, and sometimes they perform well, sometimes they don't, and a lot of times they have it this year, man. A lot of times they have it. Like with the time when they beat New England, they beat them with like a third-string quarterback, not Tom Brady, and that guy's a rookie. So I said, okay, I want to see what they do when Tom Brady comes back. And then I said, okay, so these are the real New York Jets because they really pummeled them guys, blew them out, and it wasn't even a game. And I looked at that, and I said the difference was, okay, we know number 12 and what he brings to the table. But I just don't feel like him as a coach, man. He really made a lot of decisions that the front office wanted him to, man. I thought Tyrod Taylor, when he was playing at the top of his game, he was a pretty decent quarterback. Do I think he's a great quarterback? No. I think he's right there on that, okay, he's great, no. But he's more of a manageable quarterback, borderline. He could be a great backup for a good, great, quarterback, a veteran quarterback. And I know he's been in the league for a while, but just don't really think that he had that X factor that Rex Ryan needed. Because now I'm hearing not only they're talking about firing Rex Ryan, but now I'm hearing they don't think Tyrod Taylor is that guy for them neither. I think he made too many mistakes, man, and I just don't think that as far as him being a starting quarterback, he's not ready for that role. Because you'll see how good they start off in a year, and then, he'll just take a back seat because of him and his inconsistency. So I just really think that when he goes to play, man, he have his faith, or he basically go behind somebody, he back them too strong, man. And sometimes that could be a bad thing in that case, man, to be behind somebody 100%. You got to give the other guys on the team a chance to see what they have, too. I don't think E.J. Manuel got that much of a chance after, he decided Tyrod Taylor was going to be the quarterback, which you never know. Emmanuel Sanders, I said Emmanuel Sanders. But I think he'd be better off, just giving him a chance, to say, okay, Emmanuel, we want you to run the team and see what you have. And then at least he'll know what he has between Emmanuel and Tyrod Taylor. And if they're not the answer, go with somebody in the draft or check and see if you can get a key free agent. Just don't really think that he took that initiative right now, being in the coach's status, man. And a lot of times he run off his mouth and he let his mouth write checks that he can't cash. And that's the situation he's in right now.
Yeah. You said a lot, and a lot of it, was what I was gonna say. So I appreciate that, because I was just gonna say that, Hugh. Rex Ryan, the first thing that comes to mind when I hear his name is arrogance, and he's one of the most arrogant coaches I've probably ever seen that hasn't really accomplished shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think of Bill Belichick, you may say asshole, arrogant, but he got fucking 4 Super Bowl rings. I mean, come on.
That's
you know what I'm saying? I mean,
you know what? Let's rephrase that, Jake. He got 6. Remember, he won 2 with another squad.
Oh, yeah.
As a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot about that. So, you know what I'm saying? He has that right to be arrogant and be shit to the media and stuff like that. But Rex Ryan, dude, you're arrogant for nothing. And I understand you want to have a certain aura because your team usually takes the personality of their coach. But just like you said, Hugh, sometimes that and that's a bad trait for players to take on is arrogance, because you underestimate the other team. You know what I'm saying? You're looking down on them, and while you're looking down on them, they looking, at you trying to kick your ass. You know what I'm saying? You still got to go at them. So it's weird that you would have a coach with that type of personality trait to impart on this team, because at the end of the day, you ain't got nothing to show for your arrogance. What you got to show for?
Not at all.
Dude, you want
a couple of AFC championships
again? You on the hot seat again? You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like, I mean, dude, it comes a point where some of these guys, and I don't know what it is. I think some owners don't like to give people, second chances like that. New people, I should say, chances, because they keep circulating these same coaches. Just like I said, watch Jeff Fisher get another job somewhere soon. And if Rex Ryan get fired, which I think he is, and I think it'll be in Buffalo's best interest to get rid of him, because they got a pretty damn good team over there.
Yes, they do.
So I feel like if they fire him, I feel like he's gonna recycle somewhere else. He's gonna go to another team. They're gonna, probably be in San Francisco some damn where when they get rid of Chip Kelly, or what's one of these things I'm looking at? I doubt if he would go to Cleveland, or I think Marvin Lewis. This is his last year in Cincinnati. He might see a Cincinnati or somebody just somewhere. Like he's gonna resurface somewhere, and I don't like that. I'm like, and it's a lot of great football minds in the league. You know what I'm saying? We got like about 32 teams? 32 teams. So
32 teams.
Yeah, so just think, you have 32 offensive coordinators, 32 defensive coordinators, 32 quarterback coaches, and, whatever. So you got all these young minds and talents in the league, and they still resurface these old-ass, out-of-date, just arrogant, set-in-their-ways-ass coaches. And it's just, and some of these players have to, and the fans who paying hard-earned money have to endure this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it irritates me at times, man, to have to sit up here and look at that crap every damn, year. Just, okay, he got fired. And my question don't be like, damn, I wonder if he I'll be like, damn, I wonder where else he gonna end up at in the next 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, too. it does. And that's crap is crazy, man. And I feel like I said, I think he deserved to get fired. It's not even and then he gets these African American quarterbacks, and like you were saying, they don't even want to stick with him. And I don't know if that's coming up from front office or what. Well, like you said about E.J. Manuel, and then you get to Tyrod Taylor, they were just talking about him, and he was having a good year.
He wasn't that bad at one point. Yeah,
they talking about Cardale Jones now. And then came out and said, no, we wasn't saying that. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, come on, man. Like, Buffalo is not a bad team like that.
Not at all. They got some hella upstart guys, man. They got a lot of good young talent.
Don't they, though?
That defense, man.
Man. It's crazy. Like, I'm just like, dude, like, what are y'all doing? But, yeah, man, I just, like I said, when I think about Rex Ryan, man, I think arrogant. And he need to be cold. He need to be on the goddamn hot seat, and he need to be up out of there, man. These older coaches, some of them, man, I really dislike them, especially when you haven't did shit in the league for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he create controversy. I mean, he talk shit to the media. I mean, that's his calling card, not his Super Bowl ring. Calling card. He just calling card. He talks shit to the media. He outspoken. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Belichick, when they try to criticize Bill Belichick, I'm like, this man make fools out of the NFL every year. You know what I'm saying? With his coaching and how the system is over in New England, he could be like that. Leave him alone. You know how you have the older guy or whatever on the team or at work. And the guy, does certain stuff, and people try to say something or whatever, or a supervisor, you like, dude, this dude that put in about 20, 30 years, he paid this dude. Leave him alone.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like he gets that pass.
Exactly. And I feel the same way about Bill Belichick. Leave him alone. Don't bother him. But a guy like Rex Ryan, who probably older, but you know, been at the company for a while, but ain't did nothing. Don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't do nothing. Just come to work, half-ass work, and arrogant, think he better than everybody else or whatever. Of course. I mean, you gonna get criticized. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel about Rex, man. I want to move on to the next subject. Damn, should I say this for last? Yeah, we'll save that one actually. All right, man. I want to talk about a game yesterday, man. As everybody know, Dallas Cowboys lost yesterday. They're 11-2. That was they were on the what? Was it 9 or 10 games? That's 10-game win streak, right? 10-game win streak.
Yeah, they was. Hell, I think they was on an 11-game win streak because remember they lost the first game and then they
lost the first game and just ripped off. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're right. You are right. So with the loss, what? Okay, my question is because I watched most of that game. I thought it was a pretty good football game. It was a pretty good football game. You know, divisional game, playoff implications. You know, the Giants been playing some good football. They're still trying to claw up into that division. My question is, did this loss bring some questions about Dallas, or was it just a good divisional game that the Giants just won?
You know, man, those guys, man, you know, I'm not fond of the G-man myself, man, but I know those guys don't get intimidated or back down easily, man. They always step to the occasion, and that's always been their persona, man. And this year alone, when I looked at a lot of the free agents they got, and plus they got Eli Apple back yesterday, man. They got Vernon from Miami. And then, you know, they got Janoris Jenkins as one of the cornerbacks. Man, Apple played a hell of a game, first and foremost. I was like, damn, I was impressed in his coverage yesterday. But then you got Janoris Jenkins, you paid a lot of money to, and you got Vernon from Miami. And I said, man, I was like, why did they let that guy go? But the Giants outbidded them financially. So they basically tried to put all that defense together, and they kept JPP and the guys that they already had aligned. And I believe that that's what they were basically waiting for, man. They were trying to take on the Philadelphia Eagles and a lot of the guys in that division. Was really surprised that the Cowboys emerged, but that's what they built their defense around, basically to, you know, improve and get better in that division, which when you see the Giants play well, most times it's Eli getting your boy OBJ open, you know, and Odell to do his thing, you know, besides the drama, he is a good player. You know, I feel like that connection is pretty good. But then when the defense is clicking and then they're clicking on offense too, I think that's scary, man. I think that they rattled Eli a little bit yesterday because Dallas got a hell of a defense. But then it was actually a pretty good game, like you said, man. It was low scoring, and they basically held them to that one touchdown because I was like, man, you know, Dallas came all on the bat and scored that touchdown, man. It's going to be a long night for New York. But after that, they stopped them guys, and I was like, man, this going into halftime like this. And I was like, man, if they get a field goal, they right back in the game, and they got the field goal, and then they got that possession and scored. I never thought that would be the end of the game. But they shut those guys down, man. And the one thing in particular that I know a lot of people will probably listen and might say too, I'm not trying to say that Dak Prescott got disposed, but he's a rookie, and he played like one yesterday. That's the guy they want now because they felt like he was the hot person, and he was playing productive. I think that Tony is a little bit more of a developed quarterback than he is, but Tony makes his mistakes, man. So I feel like they felt like this guy, Dak Prescott, was, you know, he had managed the game. He'll keep you in the game. He'll throw the ball down the field. He's not going to throw it too much to get intercepted or be a gunslinger, but he's going to be on the tightrope and he's going to run the ball down your throat with Ezekiel. That 1-2 punch was what people was afraid of. And at the same time, if he don't see nothing down the field, he's going to run, man, and he's a good scrambler as well. So I think that's what they saw, and they felt like those two was dynamic because you got a dual threat in those two guys on offense. But the thing that really surprised me was how they basically slowed him down. They had a lot of beautiful blitz packages that he wasn't expecting. They came at him and put pressure on him all game. What you're supposed to do for a rookie quarterback. They did that. They had the blueprint for Dak Prescott. Pressured him. They stayed in his space. They had him scrambling and having him worried under the pressure. And they basically disguised their defense when it came to him passing the ball, too, because he got exposed a lot that game. I thought he's supposed to have more picks than what he had yesterday, too. But just really a good defensive, uprise for the Giants because they really needed that, too, because not saying that they're going to get that division, but this made it to the point where if the Giants can win on out, it's a possibility that they can get the division because of the fact is that tiebreaker. It's no tiebreaker. They won both games against Dallas. So that's what made that really more interesting for those guys. But, yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing how they're going to bounce back now. And do they feel like if he have another bad game, will they bench him for Tony? Because I was hearing right now that Jerry Jones was saying that, okay, if he's played bad this game right here, doesn't mean he's going to play bad the next game. Well, even if he do play bad, we're going to stick with him because that's who we chose. And he said that, well, I don't want to, put him out or not have him play unless he get hurt. That's exactly the words came out of his mouth. But he hasn't been consistent, though, Jay, man. He hasn't thrown for 200 yards, I think, in the last 2 or 3 games, man. And he hasn't been looking as sharp as he has during the early part of the season. I guess maybe things are really starting to adjust.
Yes. I mean, it comes down to that, too, that after you go on a hot streak like that, those defensive coordinators are very, very smart. And they'll adjust to you. Prescott did, well, he has the last couple games I saw, actually since the Minnesota game a couple Thursdays ago, he struggled, and I think people do. And that's one thing about having a good running game. Good offensive line, good running game. It hides a lot. And I think it came down to the fact that, now teams have adjusted and they are putting more pressure on him. And his rookie, ability is showing right now. Like, hey, I'm a rookie. Like, this what it is. So, and then I think that that it does come down to does he mess up to the point where you like, all right, hey, he got to go, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And I don't think he's gotten to that point yet. Like I said, he is a rookie. By them having a running game, you can just have them go out and manage. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a good running game. And then, you know what I'm saying, it's like when you have a running game, you control the clock like that, and that's all he has to do is go out and throw for first downs or whatever you have to do. But I don't by no means think, and I agree with Jerry Jones saying that. Like, if he get hurt, then okay, we put Romo in. But now I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, just be like, all right, hey, he's playing fucked up now, so I might have to go ahead back to Romo. No, that's going to break his confidence. So he said what he needed to say to let the kid know, I'm behind you. It's still your job to lose right now. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, he's not messing up to that point where you have to put Romo in. He's going through his growing pains a little bit. or whatever. And plus, it's divisional games. These divisional games are rough. You know what I'm saying? Division games are
pretty much.
rough.
Oh yeah.
We just saw the Lions yesterday struggle with the damn Chicago Bears. The Bears 3-10, and the Lions struggled with them. Almost lost the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's a division game. You saw what they did to the Saints the week before. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say the Lions won't go and beat the hell out of the Giants or the Cowboys? You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, those divisional games are rough, man. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at that too. And I think yesterday was very good. And they were starting to drive towards the end. And this is getting me to my next question too. Until they threw the damn ball to that damn Dez Bryant, and he fumbled it. Now I saw Odell Beckham Jr. make a phenomenal play in the game to make it he made it 13-7 or something. What was the score?
It was 13-7.
10-7, my bad. Yeah, 10-7. And made a great play. You know, a game like it was one of those like a game breaker, a game breaking play. And I look up and I see Dez. I'm like, all right, this, you know, usually in times like that, like that's where your moxie show, like your toughness, you know, and your playmaking ability and stuff like that. This heifer drops the ball and fumbles it and gives the Giants the ball back. And pretty much to me kind of cost them a game-winning drive. So my question is, with that, and we know both wide receivers are kind of, you know, controversy-based. Like they're a little bit controversial. If you wanted one of those wide receivers, who would you pick, Hugh?
I would have to pick Odell, man, because it seems like right now it's a little shaky with Dez, man. Dez hasn't been really playing like that guy who they paid all this money to, man. Right now it's been Terrence Williams and Beasley, man. He's been nowhere near what Dez we've normally used to seeing, man. He came through a few games this year, but it's not as consistent as he normally was. Very disappointed, man, first and foremost because he's on my fantasy team and he looked like crap, but he had two opportunities, man, to basically get a game-winning drive or at least take it to overtime, man. And I just don't feel like he really played his heart out, man, to do the best he could to fulfill that win, man. Just very disappointed, man, because I feel like Dez is a better player than that. But Odell, man, I've seen it twice, man, against some really good dudes, man. But to see him like on Joe Hayden that time, and not saying, you know, because it's the Cleveland Browns that walked all over him, because Joe Hayden's a hell of a cornerback, man. I've seen him catch a slant route on him and do the same thing, man. But that's what the dude did, man. He basically just caught a slant route and stayed going in that same angle he caught that slant route and just broke it to the end zone. Never seen nothing like that happen or displayed before in my life, man. And I was like, damn, Odell, man, he's a really talented dude. Sometimes I think he let his mouth and his emotions get in the way. But, yeah, if I had to choose, I think I'd pick Odell, man, because you know at the same time when it's coming to the pressure or if the game's coming down the line that he wants to step up to that occasion. I just didn't see that in Dez yesterday.
I agree, man. I'll take Odell too. And the reason being is because, to me, Dez Bryant is one of those receivers, I think, that is just so, you have two different types of receivers to me. You have head cases that play kind of when they want to play. You know what I'm saying? Kind of when they feeling, if they okay, or if they're not bipolar that day, you know what I'm saying? They play ball. So if they're feeling bipolar, they give a half-ass effort, or they're not really into it, or whatever. and Dez gives that vibe off to me. Odell gets upset, but he balls out. You see what I'm saying? Like he has one of those streaks that kind of, all right, you piss me off, all right, I'm about to score a touchdown on you. I'm gonna prove you wrong, or I'm pissed off about this. It's not going my way. I'm gonna prove it wrong. Or if I want the ball, when I get the ball, I'm gonna get down with it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Dez is a talented receiver, but he just, to me, he been choking a lot. And you think about it, he in week 1 when they played the Giants, he choked. You know what I'm saying? So we get to goddamn week 14, he choked again. So, I mean, it's just, to me, it's kind of a no-brainer right now. I really think Dez Bryant misses Tony Romo. And when it comes down to it, I think if Jerry Jones had to choose, he would probably go that route, mainly because he would want, his little 1-2 connection to do something. But like I said, man, you can't really go with the with Tony Romo right now because Dak he hasn't done
nothing to lose his job.
Yeah, he hasn't really done nothing to lose his job like that. I still think the motor is still going with them. You know what I'm saying, with Dak and Ezekiel Elliott and whatever. I mean, I think the loss yesterday was just, it was a long time coming. I mean, they 11-2. Why should anybody panic about that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
With a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back. You 11-2? No.
That's very impressive.
I just, like I said, it was just a tough division game. They got caught slipping yesterday. The Giants was prepared for them, and whatever happened, happened. That was it. Like, nothing else to it, really, to me. You know what I'm saying? But, Dez Bryant fumbling ass. But other than that, it's not really, it wasn't, whatever. I know it's late in the season, but I want to start a little segment on the show. And just throwing this bug out to Q, because I know he's listening. Whenever you can, man, try to record like a vignette, or whatever, however the hell you pronounce that, where it's showcasing like the top players of the week, or top players, top performers of the week. So, Hugh, I want to ask you first, man. Who is your top NFL performer of this week? So far, I'll say of Sunday, because we're not going to include the Monday night game. I guess going forward, we can include the Monday night game with this Monday night's game with this upcoming Sunday, and then like that. But we don't know what Brady gonna do tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just talking strictly Sunday.
Man, can we go with Thursday too? Because I'm surprisingly gonna say Andrew Luck, man, because I really didn't think he was gonna come out and play like that. I thought it was gonna be a boring ass game, which it ended up being, but I didn't think he was gonna rise to the occasion like that. Maybe it's because the Jets defense is really that bad, but I don't know, man. I think that when I saw that loss too, I was thinking, Bowles might be one of those guys, too, that they try to get rid of, because it seemed like they didn't come up to play, and it seems like they didn't step to the occasion. It was really bad, man. You got Bryce Petty in there. At first you had Patrick Dean you put in Bryce, man, and they still just didn't play up to the potential, man. But after having that really gruesome, like really hard game that they played against New England, a very emotional game because they was in the game the whole game. It was like at the end, the last drive, Tom Brady and them ended up winning that game. But we know how those divisional games are how emotional draining they can be. And I was like, man, I think they put everything on the field that Sunday and didn't have no more when they played Thursday. But to see Andrew Luck play like he did and just control that team, man, he had threw 2 touchdowns to Dwayne Allen, man. And by that time, it was 21 to 3. And then we look at the end of the game, man, it was 41 to 10, man. So it was the defense even looked good, man. And they basically gave away a sympathy touchdown. But to see him play like that, I've been looking for Andrew Luck to play like this for the longest, man. Sometimes he play great, sometimes he don't. Do I think he's a pretty good quarterback? Yes. But do I think he plays to his potential a lot? No. I think that game right there, he had a lot to lose that game, man. And he basically just went out and did what he had to do. Not saying he did what he's supposed to Sunday, but he did what he had to do that game. And I was impressed, man, because I haven't been seeing that out of him this year. And to have that many touchdowns and to be as accurate and playing the way he did, I was like, man, I really thought that this week, if he came with that same type passion, that they would have beat the Texans, man. But little to my surprise, he had to show up 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, he did have a hell of a game, man. But mine is gonna be from Sunday. Goddamn Le'Veon Bell, man.
Yeah, man, he was impressive.
236 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a 6.2 average. He pretty much carried him because Big Ben threw 3 picks in that game. So
Ben didn't do anything.
Right. So if he wasn't on in that game, it would have been hell, for the Steelers, man. But for me, my top performer of the week, man, is definitely Le'Veon Bell. I haven't seen a nice 200-yard game like that in a minute on the ground from a running back. So, I mean, yeah, that's very impressive. I want to go to the playoff race, man. It's heating up. It's heating up, and who do you think, Hugh, will snatch up these? Well, I'm gonna throw out a few names, and you tell me who you think gonna make the playoffs. Okay.
Okay.
All right. In the AFC, I'm gonna put Pittsburgh, Houston, Denver, Miami, and Baltimore.
Ooh, you know what? Out of those teams, the one I really think is going to make it right now is kind of tough, man. But because they're all at the bottom, outside looking in. But
right.
I think the team that has the best case right now probably would be. I think Texans definitely gonna make it because of the fact is their division's so bad. I think they're going to be a one-and-done team, and I think it's harder in the other divisions. I think the Ravens may slip up and get in there too because of the fact that their division is kind of mediocre as well. Right now they have the lead in that division. It can go any way between those two teams. Definitely we'll see more of what happens in, the playoff picture after tonight's game. But I definitely think they'll be a wild card team. But I really think right now if it comes to a team like just really getting in there and winning the division, I don't think they're going to be probably that as consistent. I would have to go with the Texans, man, because that's a very bad division, man. They got a great defense, man, but they've spent all that money on the quarterback, man, who I don't think is ready to be in that spotlight.
Oh, my God. So, like, I think Denver's going to be out of it. I don't think they're going to make it.
No, it's too hard in that division right now for them to make it the way they've been playing. I think them losing that game hurt them too, man. Yesterday, didn't expect it.
It hurt them bad, like bad. It hurt them, like, and I don't think they're going to be able to recover from that, man. Like it's tough for them, and like you said, in that division, that AFC West is a beast. So
yes, it is.
Yeah, man. I don't think they're gonna make it. I think Pittsburgh is gonna win that AFC North. I think they're gonna end up getting that seed. I see Kansas City winning their division because they got the tiebreaker over Oakland. Of course, New England's gonna win theirs, and then I agree with you on Houston. I think Houston's gonna get there, but I really think Miami's gonna sneak in, man. It hurt them though yesterday with Tannehill getting hurt.
Oh man.
They say he got a sprain. Thank God it's not torn. But who should know? You know, because those sprains are just as tricky as a torn ligament. But I don't know, man. I really do see the Dolphins like sneaking in there because I think Denver gonna drop 2 of their last 3, and I think that Miami is gonna sneak up in there. All right, I want to go to the NFC right fast, and I'm gonna throw these names out to you. Let's see. Tampa Bay, Washington, Minnesota, and Green Bay.
You know what, man? That was going to be kind of rough, man. But I definitely think right now, I'm going to go with Washington, even though I think that Tampa Bay is going to win that division. Depends. It really depends because when you say that, man, you just see how Atlanta play, man. Even though that was the Rams, even though they still got a hell of a defense, man, that when they beat them yesterday, man, I didn't think they was going to pummel them like they did. But, yeah, man, I'm going to go with Tampa on that one, man, because just the way they've been playing the last few weeks, man. You know, they end up beating the Saints. They beat San Diego. They shut out Seattle, and they were just beating teams that I was like thinking they were. I didn't really think they were going to beat. I'm not going to lie to you, and I don't got no beef with Tampa, but I always used to say, man, it seems like they always have a good team, but just don't know what to do with them. And this year, man, they proved me wrong. They did everything possible now with this team, man. Mike Evans starting to look like a pro. He always been a pretty vicious receiver, but he looking like he in that top 5 now. And, you know, Jameis Winston, man, he's looking great, man. He's a poised quarterback, man. I think he's doing a good job. Because, you know, when they first come in, man, you know, and I'm saying when the black quarterbacks, people look at them like they're run-first type of guys. But you can see that this guy, man, he works hard, man, and he's a great pocket passer. So, yeah, I definitely feel like with that team, man, and their defense has never been bad. It's just they never came up and rose to the occasion, man. I'm going to definitely go with them right now as far as one of the teams I definitely believe is going to make it. But first, I'm hoping they win their division. You know, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I would too. And I think they are going to win that division. I think Atlanta isn't going to make the playoffs. I think Tampa Bay is going to get in there with their division. I think the Giants are going to get in. And for some reason, I'm feeling either Washington or Green Bay. I am.
And boy, any of those two teams, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I don't think Minnesota's going to get in. I think either Washington, Green Bay is going to get in. Because when it's all said and done, you got Dallas at the top spot. I don't think they're going to be knocked off their pedestal unless the Giants win that division. But I don't see it happening. I got Dallas winning their division. I got the Detroit Lions winning the division, and they'll actually be toggling, I think, with Seattle for the 2 and 3 spot. That fourth division spot, like I said, I think Tampa Bay is going to win it. So that leaves 2 teams. And I think that the Giants are going to get in. And like I said, that leaves that one wild card team, which I think is going to end up being either Washington or Green Bay. I really do. I think it's going to be Washington or Green Bay.
And Kirk Cousins, man, damn, man, I'm really surprised this year, man, because it's like he betted on himself, and he hasn't been betting really bad, man, because he's been playing pretty good, man, and he finds his guys, man, the Jordan Reed, Deshaun Jacksons, and Pierre Garçon, man, he's doing good with them, man, and even when Vernon Davis was playing, he made Vernon look good, man, and I'm like, I was really impressed with a lot of the stuff that Kirk been doing this year, man, so yeah,
Cousins has been playing some good football. He has. I want to get to the last topic for the NFL, man, before we go into the NBA and go ahead and wrap up the show in a minute. But I got a question, man. This might piss some people off. I wish we had Jabari on the show, but he's not available tonight. But this might piss some people off. And even when I was writing the question, I was getting kind of upset. Do you think fantasy football is good for the league or no?
You know what? In my opinion, I know I got a selfish opinion, man, because I've been definitely pissed off with a lot of the fantasy stuff, man, that's been going on. Because I've had, like, many great teams, and they all failed me. But I feel like, I think it's good, man, for the league. I don't think there's nothing bad about it, you know. I think it's something like it's good, healthy competition. But, man, it's something that I feel like it is nothing really hurting nobody, man. And it's just really, I think it's cool because of the bragging rights and the competitiveness of it.
Right.
So I'm going to go, I'm going to say, yeah.
You know, when it comes down to anything like this, when it comes down to games and, certain pride games, that type of thing, it's something always corrupting, like, good, wholesome fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was a Uno game, it's just a good, wholesome Uno game until dudes start dropping $10, $20 down on the game. Okay, then then it starts to become more competitive. People getting mad, because their money's on the line. And I'll go a little bit further and say, when you're dealing with Vegas, you're putting money down. Other people's putting money down, and you got bookies who are holding money for people or got to pay out and stuff like that. Anything dealing with that type of money, I think, is bad. Because I know if I have $50,000 on something and I'm refereeing a game, I'm not going to even lie. I'm going to try to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to call some shit on the team I didn't bet for. You know what I'm saying? So it's dicey to me when you're dealing with these leagues and these leagues are kind of like dudes take these serious. You know what I'm saying? I've seen leagues with $500 buy-ins. You know what I'm saying? I saw one league. These guys were trying to get us in like what was it, about 3 years ago, I think. Man, these guys told us it was like a $1,200 buy-in. I said, damn. You know what I'm saying? So,
man,
to me, right, and then you're dealing with 12 to 14 people. That's a lot of money. That's, for some people, that's kind of, life altering a little bit. Like, as far as, okay, damn, we can put a down payment on the crib, or, we can pay this loan back, or get another car for the house, or whatever. So, I don't know. I think it's bad to the point of it takes away the purity of the game as far as other, you know what I'm saying? Because, referees play fantasy ball. Players play it. You know what I'm saying? They play fantasy football. All that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know, man. It's tricky. It's dicey and tricky. But I think it's fun as hell. It's real fun. But I think, like I said, when you corrupt it with money and stuff like that, like whenever I do fantasy leagues, I don't like to do money at all. I just do it for bragging rights. Or if we do it, hey, let's get like a championship belt or get a ring involved or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Not all right, $50 down or whatever. Because it to me, it takes the fun out of it. Because if you forget to put somebody in, you mad as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? The people got everyday lives. So it's easy to forget about something. Just this week, I forgot to put a running back in. I had Carlos Hyde and DeMarco Murray on the bench because they didn't play the week before. I think DeMarco Murray had a bye week, and I had Carlos Hyde. Yeah, I had Carlos Hyde still in there, but I had Chandrick West in there from the previous week because DeMarco Murray didn't play. So I forgot about the Thursday game. So I'm like, shit, I forgot about Thursday game, so I forgot to take West out. So he played, so that locked him in. You see what I'm saying? So I totally forgot about it. So imagine if I had money on that. I'd have been mad. I'd have been upset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have really pissed me off. So I think just from that standpoint, I think it's bad for sports, man, because I think it kind of takes a little bit of the purity out of it and the fun out of the fantasy part of it. With that money shit, I just, people always want some damn money.
Yeah, and then I don't think the people would be happy about it too, man. That'll start so many fights and confusion or something that's supposed to have been so fun that people start to make it into a fight, man, because they'll be so upset, very competitive, not wanting to give up the money, Yeah, I agree with you, man. I definitely feel like that's terrible to even do. That's why I always never try to put that in there. I was like you were saying when your conversation, I would do something like, if the person wins, they get to keep the belt until the next season and whatnot.
Exactly.
Bragging rights of being a champion or anything. We all get together afterwards, have a little dinner, go somewhere, hang out. But, yeah, the money always corrupts things, man. And, man. I didn't know in one of the leagues, Jay, I don't even know if you knew this, man, and it surprised us because we found out last year. We used to play in the NFL league a lot. And then we ended up getting ESPN because some of the guys didn't want to be in the NFL because they felt like it was cheating going on, and I had no clue. So I already had like an ESPN, and they had NFL. I always been in the NFL league, but I'm like, I don't want to take on two leagues, and I gave the NFL to my boy Q, and then I had the ESPN league. And a lot of people were upset in the NFL league, man, because I didn't know until I was told. Like, say, for instance, if my lineup that I was playing lost, and there's guys on the bench that had better performances than me, or I can get the guys off the bench and have them as reserves. So, like, for instance, Ben didn't do nothing. But if I put in Derek Carr and all the other players who did okay, or if they had a solid performance, you could switch. The players who played bad will go on the bench that Monday going into that Tuesday morning before your actual score comes up, and all the bad players will be on your bench. So you get all the high players, the ones who played good, and then all the bad players will go on the bench, and you'll get all the high-score players. That's what they did when you buy them. You can buy those guys for $1. You can buy them with your credit card off of the bench, and if they perform better than your guys that starting, then you can rotate them. And I said, damn, I had no idea. And a lot of people didn't want to play the NFL league because they said, damn, you can buy players, man, because I beat this guy, and I seen that I beat him when I was going to bed. Then I looked up that Tuesday, and I lost. And the guys who was in his lineup, who I literally seen who was in his lineup, was not in his lineup. And he got the other guys on his team, the ones who had the highest score. And then I asked about it. Hey, man, so one of the guys was mad because he said you didn't have the same team that you won with. And he was like, nah, man. He was honest. He said, man, I bought the players off the bench. You can buy the players off the bench for $1. And so whoever has the highest or the best performance, and then that's the ones that go in and be in your game. So I'm like, damn, I didn't know you could buy reserves. And it got to the point where people didn't want to play the league no more. And it was already to the point where it was free. We wasn't playing for no money, but damn, it was like, yeah, for you to go and do that and do the money and, like, win because you technically cheated to get your players in the game, I was like, dang, it just really took the fun out of it. But, yeah, like you said, man, when they always come to that money always spoil everything, man.
Yep, sure does. Yeah, man. That's going to end it for our NFL part. Now, I want to talk just a little bit of NBA basketball. And, excuse me, there's a lot that happened kind of last week. Some stuff, some stuff that I wanted to bring up, man. First of all, the Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers played, and Cleveland went to New York and played them. And I don't know if you've seen it, Hugh. Did you see that game? Or highlights of it at least?
Yeah.
Okay. Cleveland was beating the hell out of New York. So towards the end of the game, they showed LeBron, Kyrie, J.R. Smith, a couple other guys, whatever, was playing the bottle flip challenge on the sideline, man.
And he flipped the bottle in the game.
I thought that was one of the most fantastic things I ever seen in my life. That was hilarious to me.
And the face he made, dude, when he flipped that damn bottle was too funny because people be serious about that challenge, man. He looked like he was really into it. That's what made it even funnier.
Now, LeBron and company especially LeBron was getting scrutinized. And they were saying, did he do that because of the controversy with Phil Jackson? Because him and Phil was still at it and, about the posse thing and stuff like that. How do you feel about that, Hugh? Do you have an issue with them playing that bottle flip challenge or no?
I actually thought it was hilarious, man. I didn't pay no attention at first because I said, where the hell that bottle came from? Then they had LeBron making that stupid-ass face like he was fully concentrating and flipped it onto the floor and then tried to grab it before it interfered with the game. I thought it was actually pretty cool because that lets you know that maybe it might not have been necessary, but, man, that lets you know, man, that those guys be laid back and just, it seems like they having a lot of fun in Cleveland, too, man. Definitely when you're winning. Yeah. Like you said, man, I think a lot of people looked at it, too, like Brian was trying to, kind of getting the field ahead a little bit too. Like, man, we don't even got to play, and we can play this water bottle challenge over here on the bench, while our team still, just beat the brakes off your team, and we're not worried about any competition out of your team. And it seems like when I seen them playing that game, I was like, man, they trying to set an example right now, the way they beating these guys, I definitely thought they was trying to go out and show them guys out that game. No lie.
They did, and I think it got to a point where that's I started when I saw it because I didn't see it during the game. Like I saw it on the highlights afterwards. Mm-hmm. Actually, I saw it on Undisputed. The show with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp on FS1, where they was talking about the bottle flip. They doing the bottle flip on the side, and immediately smiled when I saw that. And the reason being is because I do think LeBron was whining about the posse thing or whatever, but my whole thing is, okay, he was pissed about it. That's him. He has the right to feel the way he feels about the whole thing. So go out and let him know how you feel. And he sure did. He went out, whooped ass, and then was on the sideline playing the bottle flip challenge and was telling Phil to really pretty much kiss my ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? We over here having fun. We beating the hell out of y'all team by like 40 points, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I thought it was gamesmanship at its best to me. I think if Phil hadn't said anything, I don't think they would have done that. But I think that was a slap to Phil Jackson's face, and to tell him, like, dude, keep my name out your mouth, like for real. But something else happened too within that. Phil Jackson had came out and said that it would be impossible for New York to run a triangle offense because Carmelo holds onto the ball too long. They asked Carmelo about it. Carmelo got pissed about the question. And he walked off like he didn't want to answer it. Then, a day later, Carmelo had addressed it, and he didn't like what Phil had said. So, my question is it getting to a point where you think Carmelo may be traded, or do you think he may ask for a trade soon, or you think he's going to stay put?
I definitely think it's going to be one of the two, Jay, because, yeah, man, I talked to one of my guys at the job, and we always laughed about it, man. He was like, Hugh, man, how do you feel about what happened with Carmelo and what he said? And I laughed, and I said, when he came to LeBron's defense, I said, well, that's just his boy. He was speaking for his boy. A lot of people don't feel like Phil's a racist, and that was just probably LeBron's opinion. But then when that question came out, man, because I definitely was surprised, because it was like, I guess they heard it at the end of the game when he was in the press, talking to the press. And when they leaked that out, man, he basically was like, man, I don't even want to talk about that, man. That's nothing for me to talk about, and stormed off. And then when he addressed the issue, I said, yeah, I don't think that's going to be good for New York, man, because of the fact is we all thought that, and we all still do, we think that Carmelo's a selfish player, man. You got a whole damn team and you're constantly doing isolation plays, man. It ain't about you. It's about trying to get that team together, man. And I thought getting D-Rose and getting some of the players that they got, Joakim Noah, Courtney Lee, that they were going to be a better off team, man. And they got Brandon Jennings. I said, man, they got a pretty decent team, and they got some solid players if need be come off the bench, to be game changers. Just didn't feel like Carmelo's doing enough as a team as well. He just felt like it's all about him, and it's about that unit, man, because that unit's not going to be great unless you allow it to be. Because we always was like, what the hell is going on in New York? And it's like, man, you can do all the finger pointing you want. I think like 45 to damn near 50% of it is him and his gameplay. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm starting to see now.
I agree.
Definitely a lot to do with him now.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think Carmelo gonna end up asking for a trade because if you pay attention to the Knicks team right now, their focus is mainly on Porzingis. They didn't know that he was going to be as good as he is. So they feel they can build around somebody like him. And to be honest, he's a freak. He is
pretty good.
You know what I'm saying? 7'3" and can do what he do. Like that's rare. It's rare. The only other person I think next to him that can do that type of stuff is Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Because of his height. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Durant like 6'10", 6'11", and can get down like that. And Porzingis can do the same thing. And I think they see that, and I think they want to build around him. Carmelo's agent, he's been in the league for, 13 years now, going on 14. So it's, he's getting towards the end of his career. So I think his best bet is to ask for a trade, go to a contender, and try to win you a ring before you retire. Simple as that, because your window is closing quick. Like his window is closing quick to the point where you're not what you used to be, to the point where, like this is 6th, 7th year, and you like, okay, they can still build around Carmelo, whatever. Dude, you going in your 14th year. Like, no, I'm not building around you. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be a good integral piece to what we building right now, but to have him as a stepping stone, like as far as the heart of it, no. So I think he's going to ask for a trade soon, and because he don't like Phil Jackson, and I don't know if the Knicks are going to get rid of Phil Jackson right now. You know what I'm saying?
Not for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Porzingis saved Phil's job for a minute. So I really think Carmelo is more expendable because of the years, the mileage on him, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Him, LeBron, Chris Paul, all them guys, they've been in the league for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So they're like I said, their window is closing. It's closing fast. So, right now for Carmelo, it's do or die, unless he don't, really want a ring.
Yeah.
I mean, he got like 2-3 gold medals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that may be okay for him. But for
he definitely
people,
said it.
Yeah, I mean, other people, they want to ring. So, I mean, it is what it is with that, man.
Yeah, but if you ain't in it for a ring, what you in it for?
Exactly. Exactly. You want to have a good career to, be topped off by championships. Carmelo is one of the best scorers I've ever seen in the NBA history. One of the best one-on-one scorers I've seen. But championship really validates you. Now, I think at this point in his career, especially with what everybody else has went through. LeBron played with D-Wade and Bosh, got him 2 rings, came back, played with Kyrie and K-Love, won a ring. Kevin Durant done went over to Golden State. They probably about to win the ring this year. So it's to the point where guys are like, I need to validate my career. I got to win the championship. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I think this is good ground for Carmelo to be like, I need a title. Simple as that. Like, point blank period, I need the championship. I need to go to a contender. I mean, that's point blank period. Got one more NBA question. Off the top of your head, Hugh, who are your top 5 players right now in the NBA?
Oh, man, top 5. I'm definitely going Durant, LeBron. I'm going Steph Curry, Chris Paul, and, it's kind of a scramble at that 5th spot, man. But, I feel bad. I have to change it up or probably switch it around, but then I didn't put Russell in there earlier, but Russell's definitely in that top 5, though. I should have put him in there earlier than what I said, but because he actually should be 1, to be honest with you right now, because of the fact the way how he's been playing after that triple-double and all, and taking all the weight on the team. Oladipo's a great player, like we've said before, but he's not no Kevin Durant. So I still think that by him doing that and pushing and making these guys better players, he definitely should have been number 1, and I apologize for that. I just randomly said it. But yeah, him. Did you see that on SportsCenter when they were talking about? I'm sorry, it wasn't SportsCenter. It was when they played the Rockets, and all the players were talking about how he makes them better and how he pushed them to be better and how he pushed himself to be better. That's why I was like, I definitely think that he definitely earned one of the top 5, but he's actually top 3 to me. I apologize for putting him that low, but I was just randomly saying.
Yeah. For me, I would say Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and this name is sticking out to me for some reason, but I don't know if it's just because he's on a shit team that he is the player that he is, but I really, really think it's not because of just how his game flows. And that would have to be Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis is a prodigy, like one of them prodigies, and I haven't seen a guy with his skill level that can do what he can do, but still has a high ceiling. Like he hasn't. I don't even think he got a ceiling. I really don't. I don't think he got a max out for him. Like he could do. Like he can get to like one of the highest points ever, where he's just one of the best players to ever play the game. Like he has that much potential. I just think he had one of the worst markets in the world in New Orleans, and I think he really needs to opt out of his rookie contract and get the hell on. Like seriously, I think it's coming up this year. I think this is last year on his rookie contract. So if I was him, I would opt out and go to a big market. You know what I'm saying? A big market and ball out. You know what I'm saying? Because I think if you put the right pieces around him or a big market that will invest and put people around him, I really think he can lead a team to a championship. He's that damn good. Like, he's a very good player.
And it's sad, too, because I don't even think they try to put the players behind him, man, to help him out, man. They wasn't trying to put nobody behind him this year, man. They basically didn't give a damn who we had with him, man. And I feel bad for Alvin Gentry because he's such a hell of a coach, man. And for people to ask him questions about his job and saying it wasn't, do you think his job safe? I was surprised he cursed and said he didn't give an F about the job in an interview. He said it wasn't about that. It's coaching the players that I have. And it was unfair to him to even say that, man, because he did a great job in Golden State, helping out with those guys. When he was the coach in Phoenix, he did a good job. I think his first job was with the Pistons. He kind of struggled, but that team, the Pistons team, wasn't really that good, Don't get me wrong.
He did good when he was at the Clippers, too.
Yeah, oh, man, I didn't even think of that, man. But, yeah, that guy, man, he's a hell of a coach, man. They just didn't give him a team to play with. I don't think that's fair to him, man. But I think they'll still be okay, just because of the fact that, they have, that coach. And if Anthony Davis leaves, they'll try their best to get the pieces around, because I feel like right now Gentry has to do that more than ever, or he will definitely lose that job. So, yeah, man, it sucks to see that situation in hand and the way that's going down, but I still feel like that team, man, they just didn't give him nobody to coach, man. But, yeah, Anthony Davis was like one of the better guys, man. Him going to a big market team, man, they can instantly win the championship.
Yeah. I agree with that, man. I do have a quick question right now. Before I get to the last subject, we're gonna.
Okay.
I got a NCAA football question, and then that's it. But Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson. We saw Klay score 60 last week in 29 minutes. But Kevin Durant, Klay, Steph Curry. If you had to get rid of one of those players, if you didn't have enough money to pay one of them, you can only pay two. Which one would you get rid of?
By Klay. In a heartbeat. And I love Klay, man. But Klay has to go, man.
Why would you do that? Why would you get rid of Klay?
Because, man, I know what's the splash brothers, man, but I still feel like what Durant brings to the table as a 7-foot dude, man, he's a hell of a scorer. He's just as dangerous of a scorer as Steph Curry, man. I feel like sometimes Klay has to, get his shot by somebody passing him the ball, man. I don't think Klay a lot of times is good as far as creating the zone, man. I was really surprised at Steph Curry, stepping up and becoming a better ball handler than what he was, man. But Klay, sometimes he struggles with that. He struggles with that, trying to get his own play. But I think it's still to be dangerous to have, Steph Curry and have Durant, man. And even though if I had to choose somebody, it would definitely be that clown Draymond Green. But if I had to choose between those three you said, I would definitely have to choose Klay. And it's unfortunate, man.
Draymond is Dennis Rodman, man. That's all he is. Draymond is a new school Dennis Rodman. He to certain teams, like to this team, he's needed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you don't really have players like that anymore. Like Draymond is one of them 1 in a million type players, man, that come around here and there. Guy who do all the dirty work and don't need all the glory and talk shit and get under people's skin, get in other players' heads and stuff like that, man. So I mean we haven't seen that since D. Rodman. So if I had to choose. Now, I got this question from First Take. I was watching First Take, and they posed this question to Stephen A. and Max Kellerman. And they were saying Stephen A. actually said that he would get rid of Steph Curry. Now, when he first said it, I'm like, okay, I want to hear his explanation. So when he gave the explanation, I said, okay, I can get with it. I can understand that. And then I thought about it more. And I said, oh, hell no. I couldn't do it. And it was for the reason that you just said, Hugh, the creating their own shot. And I don't think Klay can create his own shot as much as Steph can, and Steph can draw so much because he can penetrate, and the stuff he can do with the ball is just so tough. And then you can run a high pick and roll with him and Durant. That would be one of the most deadliest plays ever to me. I don't know why they ain't implemented that yet, but I think Klay is the one that's expendable. To me, You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that'll hurt bad if I had to lose Clay. But he's the one that would be expendable to me. Not
absolutely.
Steph. Yeah, because at first I'm like, yeah, Stephen A got a point. Like I probably will get rid of Steph. You know what I'm saying? Because you can probably get another point guard in, and then you got a 6'7", 6'8" type. You know what I'm saying? Guard who can guard 3 positions. He can shoot. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then you got Durant or whatever. And then I'm like, point guards like Steph who can shoot like that. They don't come around too often.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Those type of point guards. Who you got now? You got Steph, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul. Who else?
That's mainly it.
Oh, and Russ Westbrook. I'm sorry.
You know what? I didn't think about that. I keep forgetting his
that
point.
Motherfucker is Russell Westbrook is just he a cyborg. He ain't no damn point guard. They made him in the lab somewhere. But those 5 really are the ones that stand out of what, about 30-something teams?
There's a lot of teams that don't have that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's dime or dozen. You know what I'm saying? To find point guards like that. I mean, you can find a 2-guard, but point guards are rare to find like that nowadays.
Definitely,
you know what I'm saying?
Score you at least a good, at least 15.
Fill it up like that, man, and create their own shot and just draw about 3 people. You know what I'm saying? Off the pick and roll. So it's, that's like I said, Clay. That's why Clay would be my eye man out. All right, we got 7 minutes left. I want to throw this last question out. It's NCAA football based, and this question is going to end the show. Excuse me. Hold on for a second before I ask this question. My damn throat. All right. We got somebody took a head coaching job this week. And his name is Lane Kiffin, offensive coordinator from Alabama. Took the job at it was South Florida, right?
Yep, FAU.
You said what?
Florida Atlantic.
It was Florida Atlantic? Okay. Do you think he made the right decision leaving Bama and going to take that head coach's job?
I think he wanted to try it out. I was surprised that he went to that squad, man. That team seemed like they're a decent team, like an up-and-coming team, but I think that he'd been better off going to a better team, like when he was with Tennessee or something like that, or USC. Somebody with, a little bit more of, you could put a stamp of approval on the team. FAU was a little surprising to me. I ain't going to lie to you, man, because I thought that he would be in a better situation versus that. But, yeah, man, when I look at it, I feel like it's a good opportunity for him to probably maybe get a better coaching job. But I still thought that he was going to go for a better coaching job than that. Definitely was a little surprised to see him take one. And not saying it's beneath him or anything, because you never know what Florida Atlantic has. I just thought he would go to a better team, or definitely someone where he can contend.
Right. When I saw it, I thought the same thing. Like, I thought he would probably hold out until, something better comes or whatever. But, Lane Kiffin, he's one of them coaches that he don't mind being a coordinator here and there, but at heart, head coaching is what he want to be. You know what I'm saying? But I do think he's a better coordinator than he is a head coach.
Yeah, totally.
I really think I don't know. I think it's mainly because I think head coaching is too much for him to handle. I really do. I think he underachieves a lot because he has hella talent. He's a very, very smart guy, football-wise. He got one of the best offensive minds I've seen. But it's just something there that, how some people can't manage a lot at once. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been a head coach before. Head coaching is rough. Like it's rough. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's difficult. So I wish him the best, though. I wish him the best. That's probably what he may need. Something where he doesn't have a whole bunch of pressure on him, and he's playing in a low-key division, and we'll probably look up and be like, damn, Florida Atlantic undefeated? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa. Like, damn, they undefeated this year. They about to go to the damn, Sugar Bowl or something or whatever. I ain't even recognize that. Lane Kiffin over there. So, I mean, you never know. Like you just said, Hugh. I mean, you never know, man, what they got over there and, what they ready to do. So, hey, we'll see. But wish Lane Kiffin all the best, man. I do think he should have waited. I don't think it was a good idea for him to leave Bama right now because of what Bama's doing.
No, me neither.
But he may have felt like, hey, I've learned all I needed to learn from Nick Saban, and I'm gonna go ahead and get what I gotta get right now. So wish him all the best. But man, that'll end our show for tonight, man. Good show, Hugh. Good show, man. We covered a lot. We talked a lot of NFL. It's been fun tonight, man. So, hey, next week we got some more to talk about. Playoff race gonna heat up in the NFL. We're gonna talk more NBA. We're gonna do NCAA next week. We're gonna do bowl games. I want to do the top bowls, like the Sugar Bowl, Orange Bowl, Fiesta, all that stuff. We're gonna talk about those matchups.
Okay.
And then I'll make sure I have another sports related question. Like I did earlier, we talked about the concussion stuff in football and should we let our kids play and stuff like that. So there'll be another question, sports related, to kick the show off next week. So on behalf of Hugh and myself, man, we thank everybody for listening. Join us next week, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And we usually go to 8 o'clock. And hope to see you guys next week, man. So, like I said, on behalf of Hugh, myself, and our producer, Q, we like to wish you all a good week and get your Christmas shopping in. Get your Christmas shopping in. Don't be waiting till the last minute. And make sure y'all get our Christmas shopping in before 6 o'clock next Monday so y'all can catch us again. So, thank everybody, and y'all have a great week. Peace out. See y'all later.
Take care. Peace.